Welcome, everyone, to Props and Parlays. I'm your host, Andy Lang, being joined, as always, by my fellow props betting expert, Andrew McInnis. We're going to be breaking down the Panthers and the 49ers. Andrew, happy Monday. How are you, sir?
Andy, good morning to you. Not too bad. Not too bad. Off a kind of a tough Sunday. 0-2, two plays that honestly weren't even close. So it's one of those times where it's like I didn't really have to sweat them. Two 2% losses, but still doing incredibly well in the NFL market, especially with the props, and looking for a bounce back night tonight. So talk about the wins, talk about the losses. But yesterday, I stopped watching the game and checking my phones by halftime. It was. I saw Noah Fant get one catch for 9 yards. I'm like, okay, we have some promise here. And then he just didn't get looked at the rest of the game. So one of those days for me, but I kind of like this game tonight. So not too bad. How was your weekend?
It was okay. Saturday was good. Sunday wasn't. We had a big play on Sunday, and it lost in just really frustrating fashion. We had Zach Charbonnet over his rushing, and like I was telling you before, Seattle just had the ball 22 minutes for the whole game. He just couldn't get the opportunities. He was averaging 5.8 yards a carry. He just only got 6 of them. So really frustrating. Come up a little bit short, but we're back at it tonight. That's the nice thing in this industry. There's always tomorrow. So we got a lot to go over, and here's how it works, guys. We're going to break down passing yards, receiving. We're going to break down rushing props, anytime touchdown, and we're going to build a same game parlay at the end. As always, if you guys could help us out, hit the like button and leave in the comments section who's the first touchdown scorer for tonight. Give us a good one here. Let's start with passing yards, Andrew. Coming to you first. Passing props here. We got Bryce Young and Brock Purdy. What do you like for passing props?
Yeah, Andy, I think I'm going to take a look at Bryce Young to the over. And, I don't think I've said that too many times in my whole entire life, if I'm being honest with you. But I think this might be the night to do it. And, a lot of my prop betting lately has just been exposing the opponent's defense, and not as much betting on what a quarterback is going to do. And I feel like looking at this Niners defense, it's not been good. They've been bottom 5 in passing yards allowed, especially to receivers. But looking overall, this is a spot here where this number opened up around 203, and we saw 204, 205. It's gotten up to 208 now. This is why it's kind of missed my card. But when you look at some of the game script here, expecting them to be down, expecting them to not really have the opportunity to run the ball that much, the passing game should be super steady. And just the quarterbacks that have feasted against this Niners defense, which is not really something that we're used to seeing over the past little while. It's just a pure matchup play for me. And I think that just by how low this number was when it opened up, there's very little faith in Bryce Young. And you take a look at his attempts and his past recent performances. They're trying to manage him. They're trying to run the ball as much as they can when he is out there. But this is one of those matchups where I think they are going to be able to expose the secondary. They are going to be able to get some of their good receivers involved. And this number is just far too low. So due to the movement and for us doing this show on Monday, and this one did miss my card. But Bryce Young over for him. And the funny thing is, Andy, is I always debate like attempts or completions. I think with this one, I would look towards completions because I still don't think we're going to see any crazy plays by him by any means. It's going to be just more of a steady passing attack. That's kind of what I'm thinking there. As far as Brock Purdy is concerned, I kind of think all of the opposite. I think we are going to see the game be a little bit more managed. Like we are going to see the running game involved a bit more. And surprisingly, we have seen it this Carolina defense has been okay against the pass. So not sure if I'm looking at him lighting up the scoreboard by any means, but I think from just a line value perspective, I think it's a good day for Bryce Young. We've seen quarterbacks, Andy, with some pretty high numbers this season. And then you see a guy like Bryce Young with a 203, 204 opening number. Am I falling for a bait? Am I taking a line here? Am I falling for it, Andy, or what do you think?
Well, if you're falling for it, I'm falling for it with you. I have Bryce Young over his completions. This is a 49ers defense. Since Fred Warner went out, every quarterback has gone over their passing total except Jackson Dart. 49ers give up 26 completions per game. He's only gone over this number twice this year, but when he did, he flew over like at 35 and 31 completions. And when you look at Bryce Young, he's never ended on a total between 200 and 300 yards. It's always less than 200 or over 300. Like it's feast or famine with this guy. But there's a 49ers defense that's how you attack them is passing. So I like Bryce Young. I also like Brock Purdy to throw an interception. He's only played in 3 games this season, but he has 4 interceptions. He's had an interception in 5 out of the last 6. And the Panthers, it's not nothing. They have 7 interceptions this season. So, like a team, the Jets, they're still looking for their first interception on defense. Panthers team has caused some turnovers. So wouldn't be surprised if Brock Purdy forces it in there and ends up getting an interception. So, yeah, we're lockstep, Andrew. I don't mind these Bryce Young props at all. This number just seems drastically too low. Like, how many quarterbacks would there be a number like that? 203, 206, like not many of them. So.
Right. But the point spread too, right? Like the game script suggests it's not like he's going to be on the team that's going to be running the ball quite a bit or not chasing the game. Like, obviously, we can't always base it on what the line is, but based on this number here, wouldn't there be some type of added cushion because there's going to be 2 drives in the fourth quarter that there are minimal rushes taking place? So, and I wanted to ask you because I'm sure our viewers are interested as well. How do you manage? Especially here with us doing our show on Mondays, and it's been a lot of fun just breaking down one game. Obviously, we used to go through a ton together, but the movements, like how do you manage? Like I said, like I first looked at this number, it was 203, 204. Now with it popping up on the passing yards, because sometimes just like other sports and other bets, you could take it as a good thing, right? Like there's some money coming in, but also you don't want to get the bad number. How do you manage that? And also wondering, Andy, usually when I'm looking at over 1.5 passing touchdowns, it's a minus price. I haven't had a lot of success with the plus. This one here is at plus 120 for Bryce Young or 1.5 passing touchdowns. Is that getting a bit greedy? My number says 27th in the league. That's the Niners. Is it tempting at plus 120, or is it kind of like, hey, plus money for a reason on this number?
Yeah, of course it's tempting. I mean, I'm just in favor of this 49ers defense. I plus money. Yeah, sure. Sounds good. As far as betting props, it's a difficult balancing act. I always tell people you got to be really careful about beating the number on props. It's the quickest way to get limited. So like there are a lot of times where I will not put out props early because I know that a line is going to move. And you always say, oh, you want to get the best of the number. It's like, yeah, and spreads and totals, absolutely. But if you're like me and you play on DraftKings, FanDuel, BetMGM, it is the quickest way to get limited. It's not winning a bunch. It's beating the number. You beat a number consistently, you will get limited real quick. So there are times where I just find, it's part of my responsibility to not get people limited. And yeah, it sucks. You may miss out on a couple yards, but you want to miss out on a couple yards or have your sports book turned off. So,
pick one.
Yeah, once you get to the day of the event, you're pretty safe. But I've had real problem like betting things 2 days before. Like soon as those lines come out, and you put it in, and the line moves 6-8 yards. Then the next bet they don't let you put too much on. So it's a balancing act. Every bet and every prop's a little bit different, but I just find I'd rather wait and get a safer number, knowing that the books won't turn my account off.
Yeah.
So.
And for us, people are tailing us. People are following our plays. So it's like you don't want to be that clown on Twitter that's like, congratulations to all my clients that got a number 10 yards different than me.
Exactly.
Congrats to all of you guys that bought the play 2 days later and didn't get a number even close to the number I got, and we see that all the time on social media for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, nothing's worse when you got to take down a play because nobody can get the number again. So
yeah.
All right, let's move to receiving props. I'll get us started here. I got 2 that I'm interested in, both the 49ers. Christian McCaffrey over 43.5 receiving. Just playing his receiving total this year has been gold mine for us and for clients. He did go under last week, but I'm just coming right back to it. He had 43 plus in the first 10 games of the season. This has just been an incredible streak for us. So Christian McCaffrey over his receiving, and this is a huge drop. His number was like over 50 last week. So to get this down to 43.5, I'll take it. George Kittle over his longest reception. It's 21.5, but when he plays with Brock Purdy, he just goes over. He went over last week with Purdy, and last year 10 out of 13 games with Brock Purdy as the quarterback, he went over his longest reception. So Purdy will throw the ball deep. Purdy will throw the ball to the wrong team, but he will give his receivers a lot of opportunities to make big plays. So I'll take advantage of that with Kittle over his longest reception. What about you, Andrew? What are some receiving props that you like?
Yeah, you ended it with a guy that I'm going to start it with here, George Kittle for me over his number. It's gotten up there pretty high. It's current number 57 and a half. I did see a 56 and a half out there this morning. But again, just attacking opponents' weaknesses. And right now for this Carolina team, looking at how they are in receiving yards overall, Andy, look at this distinct difference. 13th overall in the league defensively in receiving yards allowed, 25th to tight ends. I mean, like you said, this is an opportunity here, and with Brock Purdy, with him and that chemistry, I'll take it. So you get that 50-ish ballpark. I'll take that with George Kittle. Kind of more of a secondary one here. Xavier Legette over 24 and a half. We just know that the secondary, and especially to kind of those slot receivers and those guys that are going to catch the kind of the shorter passes, this Niners defense giving up a ton of yards to receivers every single week. And then Rico Dowdle, I'm going to go under 17 and a half for him. I think he's going to be simply a running back and not have to worry about him being too much of a pass catcher in this one. So if you can get that number now, I think that will go down actually. So under 17 and a half, but I'll tell you what, that George Kittle one might be one that we revisit a little bit later in the show. And it feels even better, the fact that we both like it, but should be a pretty good one. And I'll tell you, this could be one of those games where, like I said, I think that we're going to see Bryce Young have a pretty good day. And you talked about it. He either has a great day or has a kind of a shit day. There's not really many in-betweens with him. But I am very curious with that big day, how many of these monster plays we end up seeing, though. Like, it can still be a good passing day without him going over his number. So I'm looking at some of these guys like McMillan or, some of the top receivers, and I kind of want to take the under on longest reception, because it's like, hey, look, you could still have a good day. Doesn't mean you're going to go over your longest reception number. And I don't know if the Panthers really want Bryce Young being unleashed like that.
Yeah. Bryce Young and unleashed. Those are two terrifying words. Put next
They
to
don't
each
go
other.
together.
Yeah. Let's take a look at rushing props before we do that. Tell everyone what you have up over at WagerTalk for Monday.
Andy, I'm excited. I got a 5% play tonight. NFL player prop. It's been a pretty good run, as I mentioned, but gotta mention it. Can't lie to the folks here. We're off an 0-2 day. Had to cool off, and you know what? Sometimes we'll take it like this. I'm happy it wasn't the 5% that we cooled off with. So on a really good run with the NFL player props, and long term right now, we got a really good deal posted at WagerTalk.com. With yesterday's losses, we're still about plus 30 units, plus 32 units long term on a very, very solid run. With this package I have available, you're going to get 30 days of my best player props. It's going to be both NHL player props and NFL player props here. Really, really good ROI, 9.2% ROI, number one NHL props this season. And like I said, that unbelievable run, 14-3 with the NFL player props. So 5% play goes tonight, but guys, it would not make much sense to pay $35 for one play when you're going to get every single player prop that I release for the next 30 days for $69. So looking forward to it tonight, guys. If you want to join me up at wagertalk.com, you can get my 5% big bet primetime game. Gotta love it, Andy. Let's hope we can cash it. And speaking of primetime, you've been good all season with primetime. I guess under the lights, when we're looking at our websites, Andy, we got to look towards prime time for Andy's stats, the big time games. What do you have going on tonight?
That's a 20-11 run. We hit ours on Thursday again in primetime games. We didn't have any plays last night. I'm kind of glad I didn't. I don't know what props I would have landed on, but didn't like the game, and the game ended up sucking. So yeah, 20-11 primetime run. I've got a couple of NBA props as well. I went ahead and attached those, so you get our Monday Night Football best bet along with a couple of NBA props. That way you can kind of see our write-ups and how we attack the NBA markets. So one pack, one price. You get 3 plays. That's up at WagerTalk right now, only $18. So let's continue this big primetime run. I don't know how to describe it or tell why. Like, why have we been so good in primetime games? I'll just take it. How's that?
I'm going to be honest for me, Andy. I'll be completely honest with you. I think for me, the primetime, there's just less distractions. Like, it's just one game to narrow in on, and there's only so much time in the day. Like, you have one game that you're looking at, and you get to look at that for hours and analyze it and look at all the players and things. And I'm not saying I'm not doing the work on the other games, but when you see a sheet of games in front of you for the 1 p.m. slate, it's almost like so refreshing in my mind. That's why I love doing this Monday show with you, because you get to kind of be like, I don't like that guy tonight. I like that guy tonight. You can kind of, I don't know. I just feel like it's so much more peaceful that you get to be like, okay, one game only.
Yeah, it's a lot going through all those Sunday games, but I love it. I love it. It's what I live for. So, let's talk some rushing props. I'll get us started here. Why are we just Chuba Hubbard? What's up with this low number? It's like 15.5. I know Dowdle's the starter, but he keeps going over this. He's gone over in 8 out of 9 games. He gets 4 to 5 carries a game. The 49ers give up 4 yards per carry. So I just think this number is too low on Chuba Hubbard. So I'll take that. I'll take his over, but I will take the under on Brock Purdy under 10.5 rushing yards. He just came back from injury last week, -7 yards. I just don't think he's going to be taken off running coming back from that injury. We've seen it with Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson comes back from injury, and he's been flying under his total. So these quarterbacks that come off injury, I just don't think they're that excited to run. So Chuba Hubbard over is rushing, Brock Purdy under is rushing. Andrew, what do you think about rushing props?
Yeah, I think for me, I'm going to look towards Christian McCaffrey. I'm going to look towards his attempts. It's kind of going back to old reliable, going back to the simple play here. I just think it's going to be very well mixed in. I feel like it's going to be a very easy and smooth game for Brock Purdy tonight. Not anything too crazy offensively, not a lot of passes. Like I said, I do lean towards his under on completions. I do expect a run-heavy game. And as I mentioned, the Panthers have a decent and surprisingly good secondary and pass defense. So I do think the rush gets mixed in there a little bit. And I like what you said about Hubbard there. For Dowdle, I'm going to take over on his longest rush because I don't think for him I would look towards his attempts or his rushing yards, but I think he can be good to break off for one big one. Other than that, I'm not really interested in too much of the running backs here in this one, Andy. I like a lot of the receiving props today. So that's really what I've got. But, you know, it's one of those games where with Christian McCaffrey, I know it's kind of funny to recommend live bets and player props, but I think with him that you got to just wait till the game starts to separate a little bit. Like, I think that he could be a guy we could jump on like going into halftime or something, and then for his usage to just absolutely jack up in the second half.
Makes sense. Makes sense. We're ready to talk about touchdowns. I mean, -380 DraftKings. Are you kidding me? For Christian McCaffrey to score a touchdown?
Yeah.
What are we doing here? All right, let's talk touchdowns. Speak of which, -400 is wild. I'll look at Tet McMillan. 49ers giving up, like you said, 27th passing touchdowns. And if you like Bryce Young to throw a touchdown, I think Tet's got to be worth a sprinkle, right? Like, don't you have to put some kind of pass catcher for Carolina? So I would look at Tet. I would also look at Jawan Jennings +190. I think like Ricky Pearsall's back, but I'm not sure how effective he's going to be. He was kind of worthless last week. Maybe he's a little bit better, but I saw like Jawan Jennings, his receiving totals 3.5, and it's like -160. So the books are telling you he's probably going to get some catches. So Jawan Jennings at almost 2-1 is pretty good, and then Tet McMillan +145. What do you think about touchdown scores?
Yeah, it's just nice to get some plus money going, Andy. You know, I mean, I know sometimes we talk about it in our same game parlays, like we've cashed with Jalen Hurts, we've cashed with some of these top guys, but it is nice to try and be able to find some plus money a little bit. I like the McMillan one as well. I'm going to go back to Leggett. I think you get a pretty good number on him, +360. First touchdown score, 25-1. That's kind of interesting there. But in all reality here, Andy, the only one that I had circled was George Kittle. Just based on that tight end matchup, based on kind of the recent stats that I've seen. And I just think it's so interesting how the difference in kind of receiving yards allowed overall versus the tight end yards allowed. I think it's kind of interesting. And I think he will get those red zone targets. So that's not too bad. +120 anytime and +750 first touchdown score for him. You know what I'm looking at it in this one, Andy? It's I kind of like, I wonder what you could do for like, you know how like sometimes they would do trying to in golf, and I'm trying to collect my thoughts here. In golf, like you're a golf handicapper, like they would do leaderboard besides this guy.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, what if they started doing that for NFL? Like, first touchdown score, not this guy, or like
Not Christian
touchdown,
McCaffrey. Not
yeah, first touchdown score on this team that's not named this guy. Because like, there's so many guys that go on those runs, and I found that so interesting with golf betting, where it was like, okay, yeah, we all know this guy is probably going to come top 2 or 3, so we're going to create a whole betting board that doesn't include this player.
Yeah. Scotty Scheffler's to that point. It's like winner without Scotty Scheffler because he's like 2-1 to win the tournament. Tiger was the obvious
Whole
one.
tournament.
Yeah. Tiger of the field. And you're like, I'm not taking the field. So, all right, let's build a same game parlay. Come on, Andrew. We're running out of weeks. We got to hit one.
Jeez.
We got to hit one here. I'll get us started here. Bryce Young, 250 plus passing yards. Talked about the vulnerability of this 49ers defense. I just think Bryce Young's going to be in a good position to throw quite a bit. I mean, honestly, best case scenario is they fall behind by a couple scores and Bryce has got to be in catch-up mode. So I'll go over 250 plus passing yards for Bryce Young for my first leg. What's your first leg?
Well, I'll ask you this for my next leg. For this first one, I'm going to go George Kittle, 50 plus receiving yards. You know, I'm high on this matchup. I'm high on the tight end here in this matchup against Carolina. And I like George Kittle's chemistry, as you mentioned earlier, with Brock Purdy. I think he'll get the ball quite a bit. And the good news with him is we really don't need a ton of targets to get to 50. He's someone that can get that in a couple catches. So 50 plus receiving yards, George Kittle.
I'm going to go Chuba Hubbard, 15 plus rushing yards. We talked about him. Always gets 4 to 5 carries. 49ers give up 4 yards per carry. Over in 8 out of 9 games. I know Dowdle's going to get a majority of the work, but Hubbard, I think people also forget, Chuba Hubbard got hurt. That's how Dowdle got the job. And so, Hubbard's kind of been battling back. So each week he's just getting a little bit more healthy. So Chuba Hubbard, 15 plus rushing yards. All right, bring us home. What's our next leg?
Okay, so here's my question, and feel free to just give me the absolute no on this, Andy. Feel free, because it is a prop show. Same game parlay. It's still the word parlay is still in here. Props and Parlays is the name of the show here. I want to take Niners first half money line.
Oh, okay.
I want us to get to the window. I want us to cash a ticket. Obviously, this is a juicy number, but it's a parlay here. I want us to add Niners first half on the money line for my second leg.
Okay. All right. Minus 265. And that gets us a 12-1. So we got a plus 1,200 here. So the legs are Bryce Young, 250 plus passing yards. Chuba Hubbard, 15 plus rushing yards. George Kittle, 50 plus receiving yards. And San Francisco money line in the first half. That's your 12-1. Still looking for our long shot. Get our first one of the season here. And we are running out of... Hey, it's week 12 and we got one that's 12-1. Let's go. Come on. Like the gambling gods are telling us something with that one. So let's cash that big one. Speaking of big one, tell everyone about your 5% that's up for tonight, Andrew.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Andy. And yeah, 5% play tonight, guys. Been doing very, very well with the NFL props. We cashed a 5% last Thursday, which was super exciting. And we have a great package going on right now. Package available, guys, to get all of my player props across both NHL and NFL in one package. That package is $69. However, this play is $35. We've increased clients' bankroll and NFL player props over the last handful of weeks by close to 30%. This is a very good run with the NFL player props, close to a 14-5 run. And a lot of the plays are 2%, 1%, but every now and then we do step out for a 5% play. So again, guys, if you want to get this package, go to wt.buzz/am. There's no point in paying $35 for this one play. You're going to get every single play that I release for $69 with NFL and NHL player props. And Andy, I don't know about you, but I'm ready to start cooking up the NHL player props. It's kind of like we saw what we had to see the first few months. That I kind of was dipping my toes in. We're still up, but not very much. And now I'm ready to get going with the NHL. So people aren't just getting NFL in there, they're getting NHL as well. What about you, man? Mr. Primetime.
Yeah, primetime run sits at 20-11 in the NFL this season. No plays for us last night, but we did hit our one on Thursday, and we've got one that is up tonight. Also have attached 2 NBA best bets to that. So you get a couple bonus props for free just for getting that Monday Night Football best bet. So looking to move to 21-11 on primetime games still. I don't need an explanation why it works so well in prime time. It's been working. It's been really, really fun and a really, really great run. So, full disclosure, coming off of a losing day yesterday, we lost our big bet by 3 yards on a Zach Charbonnet prop, but feeling very confident. Looking forward to a big night tonight in the NBA and Monday Night Football as well. So, all right, guys, we're done here. Thank you very much for watching. Like button, put in the comments section a first touchdown score. Maybe it's our first time scoring. You never know. Give us the same game parlay. Give us your best prop. But thank you so much for watching. Let's have a big Monday night. Good luck on all your bets, and we'll see everyone next week. Take care.